You know, I've said this before about certain films that you just wonder how much more pointless they can get. This this is a paid request for Joseph. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, randomness, out of the blueness, rankings, re-reviews, commentaries, whatever it may be, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Night of the Animated Dead came out this year. This is a movie that's literally, if you took the end credits out, 1 hour and 1 minute. And they're charging $5 for you to rent this on Amazon Prime. They charge you $17 to buy this on Blu-ray. A 1 hour, 1 minute movie. But this is 1 hour and 10 minutes. Well, again, without the end credits, it's 1 hour and 1 minute. And all it is a 1 hour, almost beat for beat remake of Night of the Living Dead. The original film from the George Romero. And how they can do that, because Night of the Living Dead is public domain. Because sadly, it was originally titled Night of the Living Ghouls. They changed it to Night of the Living Dead, or someone changed it. Someone did not look at the fine print of the copyright. And then it was out there public domain. Anybody could do anything with it. They could colorize it. They could put it on YouTube for free. They do anything they want. They could release it in any other box set, any other DVD, make 100 DVDs. Or, honestly, you can remake it any way you want. It's just the way it is. And so you get this from the director Jackson Axon, whatever the hell his name is. This is the guy that he directed To the Last Death, which I reviewed. And I wasn't even a big fan of that. But I said, okay, it's still its own thing. It's his own idea. I just don't think it was accomplished as good as it could have been. To the Last Death was a film where William Shatner was a narrator for a couple scenes, and this woman had a family who there was a massacre, and then these outside forces let her relive the moment time and time again. But it just the way it was done. I reviewed To the Last Death. It's on the channel. It's done in that same motion comic animation style. And it looks worse in this movie than it did in that movie. It looks worse in here because To the Last Death seemed like it had a bit more color to it. Here, the way it's done here, it just makes the animation look much stiffer. It literally is like you took a comic book and you just have... So the animation looks cheap. It looked cheaper than it did in To the Last Death. And To the Last Death, I saw that, I went, okay, interesting. Interesting way of doing it. But no, that doesn't mean you need to do it all the time. And I'm sorry, Mr. Action Jackson, whatever the fuck your name is. If you want to make this your concurrent thing to do all the time, it's not going to last long, dude. Even if you enjoyed the gimmick is not something that's going to last too long. I wasn't even a fan of To the Last Death because story problems and such, but for fuck's sake, to do this with Night of the Living Dead, I think it's fucking stupid. In my opinion. And it's a ripoff. To be charging people $5 to rent it or $15 to buy it. And I'm not even a fan of the original Night of the Living Dead. I prefer the remake in 1990. I do. And that's what makes this even more pointless. Because I read an interview that the guy said, well, I did this because kids today, or people today, they might not be able to get into Night of the Living Dead. So let's do a new version of it, but it's in color, and it's got more gore. I'm like, that was already done, dude. It was called 1990. And not only did they do that as a remake, not only is it in color, not only is it, I would say, a bit bloodier. But they actually added their own touches. That's why I liked in Night of the Living Dead, the remake. I liked the touches they added to it, especially Barbara. Barbara was more a character that I liked. I appreciated more. Yeah, I get there were people in real life that in this situation they would be frozen and shell-shocked. I get that. But as a watcher of a movie, it just makes her more annoying and irritating that she just stands there like a deer in the headlights doing jack shit. So one of the many things I don't like about the original Night of the Living Dead. I respect what it did, but if I wanted George Romero, I will go with Dawn of the Dead. I'm a Dawn of the Dead guy. I am a Dawn of the Dead guy. I mean, who knows? If he did this with Dawn of the Dead, I still would probably go, what is the point of this? When there's really nothing new added to it, other than a couple bits of gore that at times just seems more gratuitous and just doesn't fit. I'm like, especially the way it ends. It doesn't really deviate off the path, so you're just watching a repeat, a Xerox. And it's hard to review it because, have you seen Night of the Living Dead? You've seen this movie. And there's also a colorized version of the original Night of the Living Dead if you need to see it in color. To me, if I want to see it in color, I'll watch the 1990 remake. Because I like Barbara, the character in that movie, played by Patricia Tallman. I like Tony Todd in that. And here, the voices, you get Catherine Isabel from Ginger Snaps. She voices Barbara. Dule Hill, who's on that TV show Psych, he voices Ben, the main character. Josh Duhamel, who's in a soldier in some of those Transformer movies, he plays Cooper. On the news, they're like playing the same stuff on the news. And the sheriff is voiced by Will Sasso from Mad TV. So at times it seems like almost like a sketch for comedy when I hear his voice. And it just follows the same beats. Barbara and her brother go to the cemetery. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Johnny gets killed. Only when he falls, blood comes out of his eyes and mouth. Barbara gets to this house. She's shell-shocked. Ben gets there. He tries to talk to her. She doesn't see it. Added blood. He hits a zombie with a tire iron and the nose comes off. And then stabs one in the head. Barbara just standing there while Ben looks for shit. Boards it up. Okay, one thing they add, a flashback where Ben was at a diner. He sees a fuel truck going to a gas station. There's an explosion. That's it. Wow, that doesn't really seem fucking worth it just to add that scene in there. Once again, Barbara's in shell shot, didn't do anything. Also, I don't understand, Mr. Director, if you want to update it for modern audience and go, well, I want in color, I want more gore so a younger audience appreciates it. Why don't you set it in 2021? Why don't you set it in modern time? You want younger people, supposedly, to see this, but you don't update it. Because you still have, no phones, no cell phones, you have the old school TV, black and white. So so it still takes place in the 60s. So what's the point of updating it, but you're not going to update it, the time period, the clothes, nothing. It just makes it seem even more pointless. If it's strictly for color and gore, just go watch Dawn of the Dead then. Or Dawn of the Dead remake. Or, again, Night of the Living Dead 1990. It's like this guy didn't realize that movie existed. Did he not remember? Did he not know? Or it's like, oh wait. Night of the Living Dead. That's public domain. People know that title. They'll go see it, like I did. Granted, this was a paid request, but Joseph saw it. He thought it was a piece of shit. I saw it. I think it's a piece of shit. Other people saw it. They think it's a piece of shit. That's why it gets a 4.1, which even that's too high on IMDb. And my damn butt cheeks. This is fucking pointless. It is the same for same. You have you have Cooper, the asshole, and you have his wife, and the daughter who's hurt, and you have the other couple, was it Tom and Judy? And they come up, Mr. Cooper. Now, if it was like, hanging with Mr. Cooper, if it was that Cooper, maybe that'd be different. At least it'd be something. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, for all you 3 of you that remember that. And the only difference is that when the couple go out to get gas and there's a fire, no, something, and my webcam is fucking up. It's like, my webcam is pissed that I'm yelling about this movie. Why are you defending this movie, webcam, that you're slowing me down? Why are you defending this shit, webcam? When webcam is slowing down because it wants to defend this shit. Yeah, that's right. Don't stop. Why are you defending this shit, webcam? You're slowing my shit down. You're skipping my words. I know it. I know you made my words skip. It's just sometimes you do that when I do a review when I'm pissed off. Because the webcam is working for these motherfuckers. I think the webcam is connected to the studios. They're working for these motherfuckers, skipping my words. So I say something and then a word skips. Because you don't want me to tell the truth. And the truth is this is a fucking bullshit movie. It is fucking pointless. Some extra that just make it look more stupid than anything. Like the two couple and the gas tanks, and there's a fire. Only something hits something, and the one Tom like loses his head. And the one girl loses her jaw. It just looks more goofy than anything. And Night of the Living Dead is kind of a story people take serious, and then this door happens, and you're like, I don't think that's the reaction you want. Should be, not... Barbara helps Cooper's wife, which I don't remember Barbara doing that in the original. Maybe she did. I can't remember. But she gets pulled into the zombie mass like the original. Cooper dies from his daughter. The wife dies. The girl gets the same weapon, stabs her. Same ending. Ben goes down, takes care of business, waits in the basement. Next morning, comes up, gets shot in the head. Only they make it much more graphic where Ben gets a big bullet hole in the head. And then you see the hook go in and drag, and you see fucking gas poured on his face, which didn't look that great because it looked like someone pissed on his face. And it was supposed to be gasoline, but the way it looked like someone took their dick out and pissed on Ben's face. And then they light the whole group up, torch it. And that just makes it more, like, I don't know you want to do that, man. That just makes it look more... Someone used the good word, gratuitous. It just... What is this? The fact they're charging $17 for you to buy the Blu-ray of this is a fucking crime. The fact you're charging $5 to rent it. This ain't worth 5 cents. Let alone $5 to rent on Amazon Prime. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. What a waste of money and a waste of time to make this useless, pointless piece of shit. Hey, it's like an hour and 1 minute long. I said, like, with the end credits taken out. The voice cast, they just didn't fit. They didn't fit. The animation style, very stiff. But you took a comic book, you make it move. But the way the characters look kind of cheap. I mean, this is like something someone would do on YouTube, honestly. I'm not even kidding. This does look like someone would have done this on YouTube. And you're charging money for it. Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. If you don't do it, why not just try to play around with it then? That's what I liked about the 1990 remake. It played around with it. Barbara made her a different type of character. Some people say, oh, they just made her a ripoff of Ripley. I prefer that more than the shell shock. I'm sorry. Personal preference. I like the way the ending was different. Where what happened to Cooper, what happened to Ben was different. That made it seem... that was more interesting. Made it stand... It's a remake, but it stands apart. Reasons like that maybe like the 1990 remake more than the original. I like the remake more than the original Night of the Living Dead. I do. I think the 1990 film has an ending that's more satisfying to me, but still delivers this message. And better actors, better acting. I think the remake is a better acted movie than the original. I think the original I respect. At times it could come off as boring or corny. I much prefer the Dawn of the Dead. I much prefer Day of the Dead. And I much prefer the remake of Night of the Living Dead. Again, I've never been a Night of the Living Dead fan of the original. The first time I saw it, I fell asleep, honestly. Or almost fell asleep. Maybe I did fall asleep. But yeah, I'm more of a Dawn of the Dead guy. I read talk about this. Because, yeah. If you want to see an hour-long remake of Night of the Living Dead, it's pretty much beat for beat the same movie, only done in stiff, poor animation style, motion comic style, and with a couple added bits of blood. I guess this is your movie. And if you're wondering why the fuck was this made, because it's a name people recognize and it's a public domain name. So if people see that, they go, oh, it's Halloween season. Let me see what this is. And get that sweet, easy cash. It's a ripoff. You should give the money back. Action, whatever the hell the director's name is. It's a fucking ripoff. The fact that you charge money for this is a ripoff. Fuck that shit. I literally have seen YouTube videos the same length that didn't charge a dime that did better work than you. You're being harsh. Yeah, because I'm being honest. It's a fucking ripoff. See you guys later. Bye-bye.